In 2008, Katy Perry's single I Kissed a Girl topped the US Billboard Hot 100 for 7 consecutive weeks and sparked a conversation about female bisexuality. I'm not gonna sing it for ya, but I am going to foreground a couple of lyrics in the chorus, which read, I kissed a girl just to try it, hope my boyfriend don't mind it. Despite the title, I Kissed a Girl was never about a genuine lesbian or bisexual relationship. Some girls who are attracted to girls have boyfriends, sure. Hell, I'm one of them. But Katy Perry goes out of her way to prove that she's never kissed a girl before this night. And she enjoys the act, but not because she has feelings for this girl. As the song itself says, don't mean I'm in love tonight. This isn't about queer romance. It's about trying something new and forbidden and enjoying the thrill of it. And as much as that's totally fine, in fact, you should feel comfortable exploring your sexuality, it being in a popular song kinda did some damage to the bisexual community.
So you are a barsexual.
I am a barsexual. I'm completely straight. When I go to bars or I go out partying and I'm having fun and drinking, I just kiss girls for the fun of it.
And I don't consider kissing other girls cheating.
I don't consider kissing other girls cheating.
As much as straight guys have kinda always fetishized two girls kissing, now it was a mainstream cultural phenomenon. If you could kiss a girl and then go home to your boyfriend, you were the epitome of sex. Bad news for straight girls and lesbians, but good news for the rest of us, right? Look, I was 13 in 2008, and I was already aware that I was attracted to more than boys by the time I was 10, even if I wasn't out yet. And all of a sudden, I had to hear people complain about how bisexuality wasn't a thing. It was just an easy way for quote-unquote sluts to get attention from straight guys. If any girl in my class came out as bisexual, then we all collectively mocked her for being an attention-seeking whore. I'm not saying that Katy Perry is exclusively responsible for me staying in the closet for 10 years, but I am saying that the way that we as a society reacted to that was a lot uglier than we seem to remember now. And then, in 2009, Jennifer's Body came out to be the movie version of I Kissed a Girl. Right? The movie featured a girl-on-girl kiss between Amanda Seyfried and then It girl Megan Fox, and the marketing team focused on that almost exclusively. They sexualized the movie so much that it was even suggested that Megan Fox do live chats on porn sites in order to spread the word. And when the movie came out, critics everywhere panned it, with Roger Ebert even referring to it as Twilight for boys. Which, if that's the case, good. Burn the movie. We don't need any more Tyra Banks interviews with closeted... what the fuck? How did we get from point A to point B? Okay, so, to fully understand Jennifer's Body, we first need to look at who made it. Diablo Cody, best known for 2007's Juno, a quirky comedy about a teenage pregnancy that was met with some pretty major success when it came out.
That ain't no Etch-a-Sketch. This is one doodle that can't be undid, Holmes Gillett.
She's also made movies like 2018's Tully, a movie about a woman struggling to deal with motherhood. If you can't already tell, Cody kinda specializes in works from a female perspective. After the success of Juno, Cody teamed up with Jason Reitman once again to make Jennifer's Body, which to date is the only horror film she's ever made. Lead actress Megan Fox fought to get this role from the moment she read the script, and in many ways she was kinda perfect for it. In 2007, she was the leading lady for the first Transformers movie, which cemented her as two things: really hot and a bad actress. People loved her, but not necessarily for her talents. And by 2009, the public seemed to be getting kinda sick of her. Megan Fox's public image definitely added another layer to this role. She's playing a super hot cheerleader who's absolutely perfect in every way, except, well, we'll get into that in a little bit. First, we need to get to know our actual protagonist, Needy, played by Amanda Seyfried. She's Jennifer's best friend, and she also has a boyfriend named Chip. Chip, by the way, is absolutely adorable and worships the ground that she walks on, but she can't seem to notice him because Jennifer is just too flawless. One day, Jennifer invites Needy out to a bar where this indie band is playing. Jennifer flirts with the band for a little bit, but Needy overhears them whispering about whether or not she's a virgin. The bar suddenly catches fire, killing almost everyone inside. Only Needy, Jennifer, and the band survive, and the band immediately starts suggesting that they go to a second location. Needy refuses to go with them, but Jennifer is in a near catatonic state and just kind of goes with it. That very night, Jennifer breaks into Needy's house covered in blood, throws up black goo everywhere, pushes Needy against a wall, and then leaves. Needy is a little concerned about this, but when Jennifer shows up at school just fine the next day, she doesn't know what to think. Until Jennifer starts killing and eating the boys in town. Eventually, Jennifer confesses what happened when she left with the band. Apparently, they thought that the only way to make it big, like Maroon 5 big, and God, that line stank of Axe body spray, it was so douchey, was to sacrifice a virgin to Satan. The only problem is, Jennifer wasn't a virgin, meaning that she didn't die. Instead, a demon latched onto her soul, turning her into a succubus. So now she has to kill and eat boys in order to remain beautiful. After this, Needy becomes obsessed with trying to help Jennifer. But meanwhile, Jennifer has become obsessed with killing the boys that Needy is attached to, like her boyfriend. Which, honestly, is kind of a weird plot point to me as far as the whole queer thing goes. Because the queer subtext is there. It's not just in the kiss, it's throughout the whole movie, including when they hold hands at the bar and Needy stares at Jennifer adoringly.
You're totally lesbian gay.
And it's presented as a joke, but there's even a point where Jennifer says,
I go both ways.
So if that's the case, then why is Jennifer trying to kill the boys that Needy likes? Is it jealousy and immature desire to get her romantic rivals out of the way? It doesn't seem to be. There's a point later in the movie where Jennifer seduces Needy's boyfriend, and she asks him to tell her that she's better than Needy. This seems to suggest insecurity and competition between the two. Specifically, the type of competition that goes on between two straight girls rivaling for male attention. It's that good old-fashioned, I think you're better than me, so I'm gonna tear you down so I feel better about myself sort of situation. Which, in my personal experience, doesn't really happen in queer relationships. You aren't in competition with one another for attention. Ideally, you're getting attention from the other person, or at least the other person is the one you want attention from. And maybe Jennifer just is trying to get Needy's attention and really doesn't know how to do it. But if that's the case, then why does she care about being better than her? If you try to look up Cody's explanation for the queer stuff in the movie, it kind of makes even less sense to me. Obviously, we knew people were going to totally sensationalize it. They're beautiful girls. The scene is hot. I'm not afraid to say that. There is a sexual energy between the girls, which is kind of authentic. Because I know when I was a teenage girl, the friendships that I had with other girls were almost romantic. They were so intense. I wanted to sleep at my friend's house every night. I wanted to wear her clothes. We would talk on the phone until our ears ached. I wanted to capture that heightened feeling you get as an adolescent that you don't really feel as a grown-up. You like your friends when you're a grown-up, but you don't need to sleep in the same bed with them and talk to them on the phone until 5 a.m. every night. Even as a teenager, I don't think I ever had friendships that intense that didn't involve romance in some way, but maybe that's just my experience. Maybe I'm just an exceptionally friendless person and everyone else knows exactly what she's talking about. Or maybe my experience is the experience of a queer woman and Cody's is the experience of a straight woman. After all, if I was talking to literally anyone on the phone until 5 a.m. and sleeping in the same bed with them, then chances are I had a crush on them. I honestly do not know what it's like to have an entire gender that I'm just not attracted to. That just isn't within my realm of understanding. And you know what it's like when you're trying to go out of your way to prove that you don't have a crush on someone? Yeah, that's kind of what all of my friendships have always been like. It's kind of inescapable for queer women. But anyway, point is, according to Cody, Jennifer and Needy are just friends exploring their limits. But according to Megan Fox, Jennifer is a lesbian. You know what? I'm not sure anyone knew what was going on here. That seems to include the actual LGBT community, by the way. Well, everyone seemed to let out a collective, "That's nice," when Cody admitted that she wasn't trying to use her identities as an easy way to sell tickets. Reclaiming the movie as one of our own has kind of been something that we've gone back and forth on over the years. Some queer women look at this as a story of two young girls just struggling to come to terms with their identity. And plus the girls are hot and they kiss, so what's the problem? But other queer women just can't get past the fact that Megan Fox was asked to advertise this on porn sites, and just don't understand how this movie pertains to our actual experience. But there is one group of people who have reclaimed this movie unabashedly in recent years, and that is the feminists, which is really weird if you think of this as Twilight for boys. But really think about the plot here. A group of men sacrifice a woman's body for their own personal gain, but she comes back stronger and more powerful than ever just to start eating men. It's a rape and revenge flick. I mean, not directly, it's not like Jennifer is actually raped, but the rape is kind of the part that most feminists object to in rape and revenge films anyway, considering a lot of rape scenes are drawn out, unnecessary, or sexualizing. But here, there's nothing like that to worry about. The rape is all metaphorical, but the injury is just as severe. Plus, there's also the fact that the movie deals with a primarily female perspective, which seems to be something that most critics kind of ignored back in the day. It's about the dynamics within female friendships, or about specifically female insecurities. Life as a teenage girl, basically. But the marketing team knew that girl-on-girl kissing was profitable these days, meaning that the movie missed its target audience entirely. So does that mean that the criticisms were unjustified? Would this movie have been considered a classic if it had just been sold as it was intended to? Well, yes and no. The movie is really good, it's really funny. The performances are all really good, including from Megan Fox, who you can tell is playing into her whole sexy image to present the perfect side of Jennifer, but she's also working against type by making the character so insecure. As Diablo Cody pointed out, there is something kinda interesting about seeing a woman as flawless as Megan Fox deal with insecurities. There's really just one problem with this movie. I think it was better back when it was called Ginger Snaps. Think about it. Both movies are about a pair of teenage girls who are just a little bit closer than normal. One of them gets turned into a supernatural monster, which starts to drive them apart. But the human one continues to try to find ways to help. But ultimately, the human one fails and is forced to stab their friend to death, but not before their boyfriend gets killed and they get turned into a supernatural monster. If you want to know my more detailed thoughts on Ginger Snaps, I already did a full review, link will be somewhere around here. But just to make things quick here, one of the things that I think pushes that movie above this one for me is just the relationship between the girls. Bridget never gives up on Ginger. Even when she's eating people in front of her, she's still willing to risk her life for her sister. Needy, meanwhile, just kinda gives up on Jennifer somewhere around finding out that she's a succubus. And granted, the relationship is pretty different. Both are codependent, but Ginger was never as mean to Bridget as Jennifer is to Needy. End of day, I'd still recommend checking it out. In fact, I'd probably give this movie a solid 7 Megan Foxes out of 10. But if you'd rather check out Ginger Snaps, then you got my blessing on that one. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and click that little bell thingy to get notified, because next time we're continuing on with this queer theme and talking about Lucky McKee's May. And trust me when I say that you won't want to miss it. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and while you're down there, why don't you leave me a comment? Let me know if you've ever seen Jennifer's Body, and if so, what did you think of it? Thank you so much for watching, my pets, and I will see you next time. Love you.